What up, everybody?
What up, everybody?
This is Samantha
And Amir.
and Miko at the front here, and together we are Kayla Meets World. Now, today, what are we doing?
So today is another. Well, actually, not another. Today is. What is today? Today's Sunday.
Today is Sunday, and on this bright Sunday afternoon, we are going to jump right into Reddit and read yet another marriage advice post, and we are going to talk about it.
Yeah. So basically, it's a marriage advice post. There's a subreddit called marriage advice, and when people go and ask advice on it, so that they to tell you what's going on. So what we're gonna do is give you a quick summary and tell you what we would do in the situation.
Let's do it. So before we get started, we're actually going to leave the Reddit post inside the description, so feel free to pause the video and read it, but we're also going to go through a brief synopsis of what it was all about. So
yeah, we might actually just throw it up on the screen while I give the summary, so you can pause the video and read it around here. It's probably going to be going like this or something. Alright guys, so just read it, and here is a quick summary. So I'm just going to read it off really quick on my laptop. So, it's a 30-year-old female, So the summary is the background information. So it's a 30-year-old male married to a 29-year-old female just last year in 2020, currently living with their parents, and they are waiting for a pre-development condo that's being put up, I think. I'm assuming they're in Toronto, but I can't tell for sure. So the wife put the down payment for it, and they are having financial difficulties. The two most common reasons for arguments in marriage are finances and in-laws. Anyways, so the husband is making, the husband is 90K in debt and making 45K a year. Wife is 10K in debt, is about to make 100K a year. While dating, she paid for quite a few of his things and worked most weekends, 2 jobs that she quoted, and he paid the rent. Now the situation now is, the husband makes remarks like, "Why are you buying another purse when you already have one? Doesn't seem like a good investment. Seems really expensive." So the wife says that he does not make those remarks if it's camping gear or his clothes. Basically, when he sees the benefits, it benefits him. So she's resentful about that because when she spends money on herself, it's looked down upon. So the wife paid for most of the things in a relationship and makes more than him. She brought in less debt, so she feels like the husband shouldn't be saying these things. So she feels sad and that he's not happy when she's happy. Feels like she's putting all this effort and he's trying to control everything. So the outcome now is that they no longer share accounts, and now they're splitting everything down the middle.
Yep.
All right, now that you got the quick recap, it seems like her efforts are not being, oh my goodness, it seems like her efforts are not being acknowledged. So lastly, she asked her question at the end of the post is it a good idea to split the bill as a married couple?
It's basically the overarching question.
Yeah, that's basically what she wrote. So in my point of view, splitting the bill as a married couple is certainly an option for some, because it's just not what I'm doing and not what I would prefer to do. It defies the marriage, like what a marriage should be, like as wise Jesus said, 2 flesh becoming one. So I mean, splitting the bill is like having 2 fleshes still. So that's why I mean, certainly works for some people, but not for it's not my cup of tea, let's just say. What would I do in this situation? I would keep doing what I'm already doing. So I didn't realize beforehand that what we do kind of prevents this from happening to begin with. I just realized that now when I was thinking about it and reading this post. Basically, what we do is we have pre-set up accounts where money goes for certain purposes in each account. So what we do is try to save 60% of what we make. Every 2 weeks, we just move money. So basically, oh my goodness, Nico. No! Nico!
Brief information.
Alright, what was I? So yeah, basically what we do is kind of preventing this from happening to begin with. So we have a certain amount of money going into certain like accounts. We actually made a finance video, which you can see over here. Mind you, actually might be over here. I don't
Over
know.
here or over here, we don't know.
Anyways, restarting. What we do is we try to save 60% of what we make, and obviously you can't always do that as long as there's long-term consistency. That's pretty much the goal. So yeah, we try to live off of 30% on necessities such as rent, such as what's necessity?
So like bills for the utilities that we have in our space,
To survive.
groceries,
Groceries.
like anything that has to do with surviving. or
Loan
living.
payments, buying a new car might not be a necessity unless it's like a required for a job. Justify it somehow, but probably not. Anyways, and 10% going into play. So now that we have something predefined that it's going play meaning like going to spa, restaurant, vacation. Yeah, so when you have things predefined, it kind of prevents it from happening to begin with. So when we have 10% already set aside for that, where we have to spend it, it kind of like it prevents things from like, why are you spending another thing, or why are you seems expensive. I mean, we already came to an agreement that we're gonna spend it anyways.
Yep.
So, and it's meant like every month we're supposed to spend it 10%. It's not a whole chunk. The more we make, the more we can spend. Less we make, less we can spend. But yeah, 10% is like the target. So the wife situation, if they have like a certain like setup like that, they would both be on the same page. You know, two flesh being one. So yeah, just by being proactive, we do this every 2 weeks, 30 minutes. It keeps us on top of our finances, keeps us proactive. It helps these little kerfuffles that couples have about finances from happening. And yeah, that's it. Just like 30 minutes every 2 weeks. Just be aware, be proactive, and it goes a long way. So the other aspect that was really evident for me when I was reading this is that it seems like a lot of this, the cause or the root may be from the lack of proper communication and affirmation. Seems like if like affirmations, for example, can go a long way if the husband shows appreciation of the help, thanks the wife for things she does, and in a way, you know, communication as well, the way of asking questions, the tonality used, all that stuff. It seems like that's also a big factor here. So yeah, what my wife, my beautiful wife, and I do is we are proactive on this too, and I thought about it now. We basically, what we do is we do a journal every day. See our morning routine. we do a journal every day, and one of the questions we ask, it's basically the same questions every time, but one of the questions we ask is list 3 things you are grateful for your wife for. So it kind of forces us to think, and it forces us to look for the good. And if the husband here was doing that, like forcing to look in the, it's kind of like when you buy a new car, you're buying, let's say, I don't know, like a Tesla. Now you suddenly see Tesla everywhere on the road, because it comes to your attention, and then you see it everywhere. It's the same thing here. You're writing down what you're grateful for, and then you see it in everyday life. Oh wow! And then also it helps the partner too, because then they see what is being appreciated, and it's kind of like a boost for them as well. And that's kind of like the boost that's missing for the wife, where she doesn't feel appreciated. She feels like her efforts are going to waste, like she's doing everything. Where simple affirmations can like vastly change the whole situation, and make her feel better, make her feel happy. You know, if the husband is doing that, then he's happy, then the wife sees that he's happy, that she's happy. All this problems and probably the fighting behind the scenes that's not on the Reddit post could be avoided. Simple affirmations and communications.
Okay, so here's my understanding of the situation based on what I've read. Firstly, the wife feels like she's contributing or helping out with debt that's not hers, and feels resentful about it because, you know, there's not much appreciation from the husband, and he's also even criticizing like what she's spending on. There's definitely an uneven divide of expenses, so, you know, the wife is paying more or contributing more to basic living and all these expenses that they have, as opposed to the husband who's only paying for for the rent, I believe. And then as a result, they're now like splitting everything down the line, and ultimately they're two separate individuals managing their own affairs. So from my perspective, if I was in this situation with Amir, in my mentality, like getting married and following what I have learned through, both just generally in a marriage and also religiously, like as Amir mentioned, Jesus said, two flesh becoming one. You're basically a unity. So whatever you are marrying into, that's also part of you. So whatever is his is mine, and vice versa. So by marrying, we would work together to tackle any of the debt that we have, regardless of where it may have came from. So splitting finances in a marriage means not fully being united, and I'm not in agreement with splitting off finances the way that this person did in the post. But there are many people that split 50-50 and keep and manage their own bank accounts, and they manage just fine. But this is just a personal preference. So there are couples that come from different backgrounds, and they have different histories and associations with how they manage money. I know that for me, I have a different perspective on money compared to Amir, and Amir as well brings in these different perspectives. And the problem when it comes to managing finances as a married couple is you don't have that open communication at the beginning, and you're not talking about finances because it's really a very touchy subject. So for us, what we had done in the short time that we've been married is like actually openly communicate exactly what is being allocated in our finances, and you can watch that in the video, which is over here or over there, we don't know. But whole point is overall, like, money in a marriage is not just numbers. It's a representation of who we are. It's our emotions, our beliefs, and our behaviors, and it's all very personal. That's why money is such a touchy subject. So having this open communication and actually discussing the finances, where everything is going, and how much you're actually spending together as a couple is paramount in a marriage, I would say. So if I were this person, I definitely sit down and discuss with my husband, all these things that are bothering her, which includes the money. So for example, when she says that her husband was belittling her or criticizing what she's been spending on, she should openly tell her husband how that makes her feel and come to some kind of solution. So that includes what we do, budgeting, whatever needs to be spent on. So whether that's necessities or play or however we want to spend our money as a couple, that is already openly discussed, and discussed not just one time but on a consistent basis, because you should always be having conversations about your finances, because that's very important. So yeah.
Alright guys, to wrap, let us know what you think. Alright, so yeah, that was our chat with the Chaos. Let us know in the comment section if we should do another one. Better yet, leave a link of the Reddit post you want us to do next. Yes. And we'll do it. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. See you next time. Wah! Wah!